Hi, my little panda cubs. So, I've had quite a frightening weekend. They're really not joking when they say nicotine while on HRT is bad. Me being me, I ignored those warnings this past couple of years because, I'm young and immortal. I'm invincible. Bad things won't happen to me. That's the attitude we all have, right? But here I was in hospital. I had to be rushed in for emergency surgery. On Saturday, I noticed swelling in quite an unfortunate, embarrassing place. Quite embarrassing for a trans girl, especially. So you know what I'm talking about. A very dysphoric place. it was swelling and swelling and swelling. So I left it hoping that it would fix itself. I did squats and I jogged on the spot thinking, maybe that'll draw blood away, right? Draw blood into my legs. That didn't work, so I had a nice warm bath, hoping, that would magically cure the swelling. Didn't work. It got to Sunday morning, about 7-8 o'clock in the morning. I messaged my fiance, Danny. I told Danny what was happening, that I was having this horrible swelling down there that won't go away. And Danny made me go to my local emergency department, A&E we call it here, but you Americans, you call it ED, right? Emergency department. But before going there, I went to the shop and bought some aspirin, because aspirin are blood thinners, right? I took a bunch of the aspirin, and also I took a bunch of Sudafed, because Sudafed has phenadrenaline in it, you know what I mean. Which actually acts as a vasco thingy, widens your blood cells. I took a bunch of those as well, and I actually sat outside the hospital for half an hour just to see if these would kick in, because I really didn't want to go in. But after half an hour, no, it didn't help at all, and it was getting really unbearably painful down there. So I was like, oh no, I'm gonna have to walk into A&E and show nurses my pee-pee, aren't I? Oh my god, the most humiliating experience of my life. I did just that. I couldn't tell the receptionist, the triage person. I had to write it down. I wrote it down on a piece of paper. Like, I've had swelling around my groin area for the past 14 hours, and handed her the piece of paper. A nurse took a look at my junk and immediately fetched a doctor. That drummed it into me how serious it was. I saw a doctor right away, and the doctor was like, "Why did you leave this so long?" He was like so mad that I left it so long. I said, "Well, because it's embarrassing. It's humiliating." He took a syringe and a needle and stuck it inside my groin to try and drain some of the blood out, but it wasn't helping at all. So he's like, "I'm sorry, we're gonna have to call you an ambulance and take you to the big hospital," because my hospital doesn't have a surgical team, see, but the next town, that's where the big surgery hospital is. So an ambulance blue lighted me there. I went straight into surgery. That's when it sort of hit how actually serious this was, because they were so worried. What they were worried about was necrosis. I'd been clotted and had blood flow and oxygen deprived down there for so long. It was becoming necrotic. So I went straight under anesthesia and straight into the operating theatre. They managed to drain all the blood. I'm not sure what they did because I was under anesthesia, but they shoved like pipes and shunts up there and drained all the blood and stuff, and sucked all the clots out. When I came to and I was in my hospital bed, doctor came to see me, and they were actually suspecting cancer. I noticed they took a biopsy. They took a biopsy down there. They were expecting some form of cancer. They did a sickle cell test. It wasn't sickle cell. They took a biopsy thinking maybe it was like a groin or bladder or penile cancer, something like that. That came back clean, thank God. So the doctor was asking me questions about my lifestyle. Do you drink? Do you smoke? I was like, no, I don't smoke, but I do vape. And then he asked if I was on any medications. And I said, yes, I take HRT. And then you could see the light flick on behind his eyes. He was like, he goes, you really need to quit vaping. You need to quit vaping. Because nicotine with HRT, it increases your chances of blood clots by 40%. Not only that, stroke, heart disease, deep vein thrombosis. And not only that, nicotine actually binds with estrogen in the liver and prevents it from working. So all of you who smoke or vape out there, who are sad that you don't pass or sad about your progress is slow, well, you're blocking your HRT from working. Of course, this only mostly applies if you take oral estrogen, because it takes a 2-pass in the liver, and that's where the nicotine binds with it and stops it from working. Injections and sublingual and stuff like that is a little better, but it's a myth that it still doesn't go through your liver. It still does take a pass through your liver. It skips the first pass, but it still takes that second pass. So some binding is still going on there, right? So you're not blocking it entirely if you don't do oral, but you're still blocking it a little bit. And that little bit all adds up, right? I'm not your mummy, so
Mummy!
I'm not gonna nag you to stop smoking or stop vaping. But I'm just telling you that my experience this weekend, I almost died and became necrotic because of all the blood clotting and pooling that was happening down there due to HRT and nicotine. So please be aware of the risks, and you know, if it happened to me, it could happen to you one day. The point of this video, I think I wanted to get across, is no matter how embarrassing and humiliating a problem you're having is, please don't put it off like I did out of embarrassment. Please look after your health and be safe while transitioning and on HRT. I could have died or lost an appendage just because I was too embarrassed to seek medical help because of the area the problem was in. Nurses and doctors were actually really understanding and really professional. The world didn't open up and swallow me up like I thought it would, and you know, nurses didn't gather around me to laugh like my head was telling me would happen. Anyway, I'm home now. I'm feeling better. I'm flying high on codeine at the minute because I'm in so much pain. The surgical sores are so bad. I should still be in hospital really, but I had nobody to look after my cat. So my cat was home alone for 2 days, and I was really panicking because, you know, she needs food and water, and I had no one to go look after her. So I'm there begging the doctors to let me come home. Like, please, my cat's at home. She needs food and water. Please let me go home. So they took the catheter out and said, okay, if you can pee twice on your own, we'll let you go, and we'll show you how to use the blood thinner injections, and we'll send you with some strong antibiotics and some strong painkillers. But any more problems, please, you have to come back to hospital. Babies, if you're on HRT and you ever have any medical problems or medical concerns, please don't put it off out of embarrassment. Go get seen. Look after your health for big sis. I'm going to go relax and recover now, okay? Mwah. Zippity.